In this video, I'm going to take us through the first quest of Mage Duel together to show off a bit of the game. Then, we'll check out the world and the other activities available for you to interact with. I created a fresh character to start with, and for this demo, I'll be playing in Chinese Pinyin to make it a bit easier to follow along. So, let's get started by interacting with Robert. As soon as we interact with Robert, Robert will send off his initial message. And upon completion here, you'll notice that we unlock the quest Introductions. Now, Robert here is asking us our name. He introduces himself. Well, Robert. My name's Robert. And he's following up with us asking us what our name is. So we'll say, hello, Robert. Thank you for the warm welcome. Well job, Butch. My name's Butch. See, Robert will come back here. And in this part, I'm not too sure what he's saying, but I see the words Gongzuo, which I think means work. But as I said, I'm not really sure what he's saying. So at this point, I'm going to get some help from our familiar. So let me introduce you to the gorgeous pedantic bird. You can interact with your familiar here. And the gorgeous pedantic bird is your language coach. So we also refer to it as the GPB. And GPB knows the context of the game and of the conversations you're having. You can speak with the GPB at any point within a conversation by using the same button I showed there. So now we see, you found me, gorgeous pedantic bird at your service. Since you're stumbling through introductions with Robert, try not to embarrass yourself in Pinyin. Now, like I said, I think Gongzu means work, but I'm not sure, so you can ask the GPB, what does Gongzu mean? And I was correct. It does mean work or a job. And in Robert's line, he's politely asking what you do for work. With a little bit of more information there, I can say, Gongzu, or I work. And the gorgeous pedantic bird will come back and say, it's incomplete by itself. It just means I work. The job's missing. Sounds like you trailed off. You can say, I am a student, or I am a. If you truly mean you're employed but won't specify, Gongzu, so I have a job. I believe the word for engineer is Gongchengshi. So I'll just say Gongchengshi engineer, as in is Gongchengshi engineer. And the gorgeous pedantic bird says quite so. Gongchengshi is engineer. To answer Robert neatly, you can write Woshi Gongchengshi. I'm an engineer. Or Woshi Yiming Gongchengshi, which is also I'm an engineer, but more politely. So we'll take that. We'll go back to our conversation with Robert, and we'll use that. Now, since we switched away from our conversation with the GP bird, we can use the conversation history in the top right to reference that. So I'll use the polite one. And say, I'm an engineer. All right. And Robert comes back. He follows up with another question here. And this looks like it ends with, what do you like to do for fun? Or what do you like to do for leisure? So I'll say, one. This is, I like building and playing video games. So now, with this last response from Robert, we'll see on the top, we completed the quest introduction. We also have 2 new quests available. We unlocked 2 quests. And in Robert's response, he's likely saying something along the lines of, our introduction was adequate. He knows we're named Butch, uh, or an engineer. However, he's also telling us we're quite dirty and we should go bathe before anything else. Now, instead of replying to Robert, I want to bring your attention to the bottom right corner. You'll see this short summary with the estimated ILR 2 as the header. This is the ongoing evaluation of your language production. Now, we use an experimental system to evaluate and estimate your ILR based on pairs of what the NPC says versus your responses. Now, you can hover over this area using the magnifying glass to get some in-depth understanding of the score you receive. Now, with this full ILR report, we have that summary up top still, estimated ILR 2. The learner demonstrates basic comprehension of the NPC's questions, ILR approximately 2+, but produces opinion with noticeable errors and non-standard forms that limit clarity, ILR approximate to 2. Now, we also, in this full report, have the reading, so our comprehension estimate on how we perceived Robert's prompt, and our writing estimate. So for the reading, we see a ILR of 2+. Says the reply shows the learner understood the NPC's question and answered about personal preferences, likes, and activities, indicating comprehension of basic questions and vocabulary, though not fully precise. And for writing, we have an ILR of 2. The written opinion conveys the intended idea, liking to make and play electronic games, but contains multiple orthographic and segmentation errors, and non-standard spellings that require inference to interpret. Now, underneath this, we have a proficiency. You see on this proficiency, currently have a 1+. Now, this estimated ILR is made up of your last 5 evaluations. You should say up to, because in this case, it's our last 3. Now, this estimated ILR, this proficiency level, is the one that the NPCs you speak to will adapt towards. So if you are speaking at higher levels of fluency, they will as well. On the right side of this proficiency level, we have the previous ratings, 1+, 2, and 2. Now, these are the ratings for our previous utterances, and they are what feed the average of 5. Now, as a new one comes in, and you're in that sliding window of 5, the oldest will get pushed out, so that way we are maintaining an average proficiency for you that is up to date for the agents to react to. Now, something I want to note is that aside from being your language coach, the GVB also understands your ILR evaluations. So we can swap to the GVB here. And with this, we'll say, why is my ILR a 1+? And the gorgeous pedantic bird's going to come back with an explanation on what ILR 1+ means. In this case, elementary proficiency, but can occasionally handle slightly more complex tasks showing flashes of level 2 without doing so reliably. So it tells us why we're rated there. We manage predictable rehearsed exchanges, yet still falter with spontaneous narration, connected discourse, or accuracy under pressure. It'll offer a short writing sample and can point out exactly what's holding us at that plus. But say we want to use our last message. What would have improved my last message? So our question would land more like an ILR 2 inquiry if you made it specific and evidence-based, such as based on my recent writing speaking sample, what errors keep me at an ILR 1+ rather than 2? Rather than the bear, why is my ILR 1+? Well, leave the evaluator guessing what domain, task, and sample you mean. So that about covers everything for the encounters in Mage Duel. These are the core of the game, and they lead the player towards their ultimate goal of reaching one of the Voice Lords. Now, we will exit this conversation, And you might see coming right off to the left of us a little blue sparkly trail. Now, every time you leave a conversation, you will get this pathfinder on the ground, and it'll lead you to the next NPC you're expected to go meet. In this case, it is Filth over here. You can also create the pathfinder yourself by pressing tab at any point, so that way you can find where you're expected to go. Now, the next mechanic I'd like to show you is thread collection. Now, thread collection can be accessed at any point by pressing the key R. And in this activity, you will get a prompt at the top. And you can think of that as a question. The portal may contain words or clouds. Think of those as the answer. And if it's a sound meter or clouds, you'll hover over to hear audio. So in this case, we have a translation activity. We're looking for the word this, and we're going to choose the target language inside of the portal. Now there's audio here, so if you hover, you can hear audio of the words. Okay. And I'm just going to go through this a bit quickly, but in a thread collection, you have a total of 24 questions that you will see. This is across 12 vocabulary words and 4 different variations of content. So as we wrap up here, we'll see a new prompt. Meet the blank. So this is a fill in the blank activity. We still have the same answers being text with audio behind them. So similar to prior, we can just skip right through here. And now we get another variation. So this is a word in context. In this case, we have a word. In this place, it's the question mark highlighted, and that's the word we're looking for in the portal. And that will be consistent for the next 6. This bar on the right side shows you your progress going through all 24. Perfect. So this last one is a word in context again. We're looking for the word R. However, the answers are audio only at this point, so you need to hover over them. And you need to select the correct answer based on the audio. Now, if I click through the rest of these at random, we will get a summary panel at the completion of those 24 questions. In here, you'll see the correct answers out of 24. We had 13. Our max combo was only a 4. We gained 14 threads. Took us just about 3 minutes to get through. And you get an average time per word. Now it goes through the vocabulary covered. As I said, there are 12 vocabulary words in a burst, so you see each twice. They are color coded, so your greens are the ones that you got correct both times. Yellow is one that you got correct once, and red is incorrect both times it was shown. From this summary screen, you can choose to play again and go through another burst, or you can choose to return back to the overworld. Now, the threads are something you earn in thread collection that give you access to lore in the game. You can access this through pressing the L key on your keyboard, and that'll open this UI. Now, as you do more thread collections and you earn more threads, you will unlock more and more lore about the world that you're playing in. And this gets quite in-depth. Outside of that, you have a quest journal, of course. We have our active quest here, bathe in the horse trough to find filth and bathe to get cleaned up. You can target or untarget quests at will. We have conversation history. This is for all of the NPCs you speak with, including the gorgeous pedantic bird. That's available for you to reference at any point. Next, we have the social network. Now, the social network here will get populated as you earn more introductions to different characters in the world. It'll show your affinity with them. This icon in the middle will show you a potential indication of what kind of mood they're in. We see a teleport to button that might be available depending on decisions you make later, and related quests. So quests that you have active that relate to the NPCs you've been introduced to. Now, lastly, I want to go show you the Mage Duel Arena activity. Now, this activity is combat, and it's based around translation. So, we come over here to the Mage Duel Arena, we interact, and we'll see that it wants us to type the English translation of the sentence above and press submit. So in this case, that sentence is met my girlfriend. So we will type that in. And we'll see after a correct translation, we choose to attack or defend. We need to defeat the adversaries before they defeat us. Each victory moves you to the next round. So I want to pause here for a quick moment just to explain the activity itself. Translation is based off of semantic similarity. So that means we score based on the meaning of your translation versus what the target language is. This means we aren't doing a strict comparison between the two languages. Now, the score that comes back is the value of power. So in this case, we had a perfect translation. So our fireball power or our shield power up is 100. Now, probability comes from the speed at which you completed the translation. Since we did it quite slow, our hit probability is only 50. Same with shield success. So, with this, we could choose either or and see how it goes. We'll throw a fireball. All right. Oh, and we got hit back. Now, each victory in a Mage Duel here will increase your round. Every round, the rift rates will get more difficult. They'll have more health. They'll deal more damage. Now, every 50 rounds, you will change tier in the Mage Duel Arena. What that means is that your content will get more difficult. So, the goal is really to just get as far as you can. Now, this activity, as well as the thread collection activity when went over just earlier, are available for you to interact with at any point in the game to allow more language practice. Also, everything you do in the game is connected to the LMS, the page in which you signed in and you got your Steam keys from. From the game, you can access that by clicking this icon in the settings menu here. Or at the main menu, there's a button there that's called My Progress. From there, you can view your progress in thread collection. You can get feedback on your conversations, and you can view the progress you made in the Mage Duel Arena as well. And in terms of activities, that covers it. Now, your goal in the game, as I said earlier, is to earn these introductions to different people in the world. You'll work towards navigating the social circles of Dagon, starting with Robert. If you're like me, maybe the Filth next. If you're better than me, maybe you'll have some other options. And you need to make decisions, and you'll need to help people with tasks and by means of quests to build or harm those friendships during the way. And this is all in hopes of reaching one of the Voice Lords and helping unite the people of Dagon.